Shout out to Craig J for sending me this story, and this is going to be another edition of Strag Tales. And this is going to be a very interesting Strag Tales because this is going to be one focused on the L class of the Alphabet Academy. I never really talk about the the L class that much when it comes to the Academy, but we will be discussing it today. So in this picture, you see two people. On the left, you see a woman by the name of Siobahn Collins-Grant, and not on the left, on the right, you see a woman by the name of Siobahn Collins-Grant, the one who has the gray shirt on with the ponytail. And the one on the left, her name is Sakura Loseki. I'm guessing that's her name, and she's 22. That's the one that's on the left with the braids. So apparently, and this happened overseas in London. So apparently, both of these women are lesbians. They're not in a relationship with each other. They were both friends. And the one that's wearing the gray, and I can tell in the relationship, she's definitely the more dominant one just by looking at her mugshot. So apparently the story goes that the one on the left, Sakura, was flirting with Siobhan's girlfriend. She got mad and she ended up stabbing Sakura to death. Now, mind you, both of these women were friends at one point. But the minute that she flirted with her girlfriend, that friendship went right out the window. That's crazy how fast that can happen. But I've always heard that them L-class relationships are rough. I heard they are some of the biggest abusers ever, even more so than some heterosexual couples. But they don't like to talk about that. But let me go ahead and get into it. Siobahn Collins-Grant knifed Sakura Loseki in the chest after the pair had a loud row in a street in North London on September 8th. A doctor tried to perform open heart surgery to save Miss Loseki's life in the street, but she bled to death. Miss Loseki reportedly attended an anti-knife crime event hosted by Camden Against Violence the day before she died. Now, look at the irony of that. Anti-knife, and the reason why they talk about anti-knife rather than anti-gun is because their gun policies over there are real low. Notice that a lot of times when someone dies over in London or something like that, it's always by a knife. Hence why a lot of the police over there don't even carry guns. That's why they're shooting. That's why when something happens, you don't really hear about shooting of unarmed people or shootings like that. In period, it's usually a knife. But the irony of that, she attended some type of anti-knife program. And what happens the next day? She gets stabbed to death. Although prosecutors indicated she had a blade on her when she faced Collins-Grant. The pair had previously come to blows in a nightclub in August when Miss Loseki accused Collins-Grant of chatting up her lover Savannah Simpson, jurors at the Old Bailey heard. Oliver Glasgow, QC, prosecuting, said Miss Loseki hit Collins-Grant and the pair were thrown out by bouncers. Friends were told the pair later settled their differences, but tensions erupted when they crossed paths a few weeks later. Collins-Grant had been staying with a friend but was kicked out the day before the killing after they fell out. She was accused of sleeping with another woman's boyfriend and told her clothes would be burned unless she picked them up from the mutual friend's house in Chalk Farm. This sounds like a badly scripted reality show. The defendant arrived on September 8th with four friends and neighbors heard shouting from a group of females. Mr. Glasgow said her promiscuity was spoken about, but no one seemed interested in taking the threats that had been made to the defendant any further. Whilst everyone stood outside talking, Sakura Loseki and two of her friends arrived. The description of Sakura Loseki's move varied. However, it was clear that she was armed with a knife since one was seen in the wristband of her tracksuit trousers, and several of her friends were concerned with the way she was behaving. Whatever the reason for her bad mood, nothing was said or done by Sakura Loseki toward the defendant. Indeed, the two of them were not even stood near each other. However, without warning, the defendant ran across to where Sakura Loseki stood, shouted at her, threw a punch in her face, and then stabbed her in the chest. And I'm looking at a picture of the knife right now, and that's a pretty heavy-duty knife. The attack took Sakura Loseki completely by surprise, and she could do nothing to defend herself. Miss Loseki pulled the blade free and fell to the ground while Collins-Grant ran away with two of the victim's friends in pursuit. The two friends, Fatima Mahmood and Savannah Simpson, caught up with her and attacked her, receiving cuts to their hands while the defendant sustained cuts to her back. Collins-Grant broke free and returned to the scene, where she was heard saying, "What have I done?" She picked up the knife she had used in the killing and was shown on CCTV running away to Camden, throwing the knife in the Regent's Canal. In a statement read in court by Secura's family, her mother said, "I would like the person that killed my daughter to know that she has ruined the life of every single member of my family. She will be able to get on with her life when this is all behind her. I will never be able to get on with my life. The loss of Kira has left a huge hole in my heart. I am devastated by what had happened, completely destroyed." Collins-Grant, of no fixed address, denied murder but admitted manslaughter. The prosecution accepted her plea and she was sentenced on Friday. I wish they would have said what she was sentenced with. But yeah, that's a crazy story right there. But like I've always heard, those L-class relationships, those are some wild relationships from what I've always heard. I heard that some of them are more dangerous than men can be, because many of them are trying their damn hardest to be a man. And I wonder if they're going to call that toxic femininity. I'll probably be waiting forever till I'm like bones before that actually happens. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Twitter if you haven't done so already. Have your notifications turned on, and I will talk to you in the next one.